When you do this secret thing to a narcissist, they will suffer greatly and will be your slaves forever. We all desire to be recognized, heard, and valued as individuals. But what occurs when our need for acceptance becomes an obsession with ourselves? When we are so self-centered that we are willing to deceive and harm others to get what we want. This is the behavior of narcissists, and unfortunately, we all know someone who matches this description. If you have ever been exploited by a narcissist, you understand how hurtful it can be. What if, however, there was a means to make them suffer? First, I do not believe that revenge is ever a good notion, but there are ways to secure yourself and set boundaries when working with a narcissist. Here are 10 strategies for dealing with narcissists in your life. Ignoring a narcissist is one of the most effective methods to make them uncomfortable. This is because they are overly concerned with their own importance, which makes them furious when they are ignored. It can be advantageous to ignore them in both direct and indirect ways, such as by not responding to their communications or allowing them to enter your life. The best method to harm a narcissist is to disregard their words and emotions. This will rob them of their sense of authority and make them feel weak, which they abhor. Second, you should disregard their negative comments. When a narcissist criticizes you, the surest method to hurt them is to make sure you don't feel bad about it. Narcissists are notoriously critical of others and appear to take pleasure in bringing others down. If your sense of self-worth is low, it may be difficult not to take their criticism to heart. However, it is essential to consider that those who attack you are only displaying their own flaws. Thirdly, narcissistic individuals may avoid you if you are self-assured and confident. They attempt to compensate for their own faults by avoiding individuals with these characteristics and making others feel inferior about themselves. They seek for any opportunity to criticize others, which demonstrates their insecurity and their need to be right. As one's confidence increases, it becomes more difficult for others to influence or control them. By challenging the narcissist's self-assurance or sense of superiority, you will place them on the defensive and make it more difficult for them to trap you. Fourth, the best method to make an ego unhappy is to demonstrate your own happiness. Narcissists are extremely self-centered and cannot tolerate other people's success because it diverts attention from themselves. If you are content with your existence, they will perceive that you have no interest in them. Never seek consolation or acclaim from a narcissist. Focus on other things, such as the people and objects that bring you joy. Narcissists are indifferent to your happiness. In actuality, they enjoy your misery. Because he desires to feel good about himself, he does so. However, you should not allow them to drag you down or steal your joy. Fifth, do not grant their request. Narcissists are extremely self-centered and will do anything to maintain their status as the center of attention. You may be tempted to give in to their demands and lavish them with attention in order to alleviate the tension, but doing so will only encourage them to act out and make even greater demands in the future. The most effective method for dealing with them is to do nothing for them and instead concentrate on yourself, disregarding their desires. If a narcissist cannot obtain what they desire from you, they will swiftly move on to someone else. 6. You should not pay attention to what they say. Narcissists tend to prioritize their own needs over those of others, even if doing so emotionally harms others. They may intentionally say something cruel to hurt your emotions or enrage you. However, remember that what they say has nothing to do with you. Instead, they are attempting to solve their own problems by shifting the blame to you. You are superior to them, so do not allow them to make you feel inferior or alter your perception of yourself. Don't give them the satisfaction of observing your response to their comments. Be courageous enough to refuse without feeling terrible. Narcissists exploit others because they enjoy being in control and obtaining their desires. They achieve their goals by making others feel guilty for not doing enough to make them joyful. Narcissists take advantage of others without giving anything in return, which can make their victims feel worthless. People can defend themselves against narcissists by simply saying no. Do not feel guilty for avoiding their pitfalls. Always prioritize yourself. Narcissists are only concerned about themselves. Number 8. Never apologize for being honest. When a narcissist makes a person feel terrible about themselves or questions their values or beliefs, the victim is more likely to feel anger and the need to apologize. However, apologizing aids the narcissist and perpetuates the humiliation cycle. This gives the impression that you condone and encourage the narcissist's inappropriate behavior. You should never apologize for being yourself, even if it makes you feel uneasy. Defend yourself and do not allow the narcissist to make you feel inferior by disagreeing with them. Respect, love, and kindness are given to everyone regardless of what the narcissist believes. The narcissist's approval is irrelevant. 9. Confront them and inform them of their mistakes. Narcissists have inflated self-esteem and believe they are superior to others. They do not desire any criticism, even if it were constructive. Therefore, it is essential to inform them of how their actions harm others. It is essential to establish boundaries and communicate that unacceptable behavior will not be tolerated. Face-to-face communication is required to make narcissists assume responsibility for their actions. This method can help mitigate the harm caused by avarice and motivate individuals to behave more responsibly. Narcissists are experts at manipulating others and are also adept at shifting culpability away from themselves. They frequently attribute responsibility for something or someone else to the other party. Calling a narcissist out on their wrongdoing or impoliteness is part of standing up to them. If you are overly kind to them, they may behave even worse. This may cause them to avoid situations where their anxieties could be revealed. Always adhere to your own principles to avoid being manipulated by a narcissist. Since a narcissist's actions are unaffected by what others believe, it is essential to establish clear and firm boundaries. The narcissist may be pleasant at first, but ultimately they may attempt to manipulate you by asking for favors they don't deserve or making unreasonable demands. It is essential not to fall for their tactics. A straightforward no or "I'm sorry, but that can't happen" should suffice. If the narcissist persists in attempting to communicate with you or spend time with you, you can cease communicating with them or leave their company. Narcissists safeguard their fragile self-esteem by avoiding situations that could make them feel bad about themselves, such as being criticized or having their position called into question. Therefore, they labor just as hard to maintain their image as they did to advance in society. To rid yourself of a narcissist, you may need to sever all ties with them and eliminate them from your existence. Remember that the most effective way to prevent them from manipulating you is to establish clear boundaries and resist their demands. Please let us know if you found this video useful by leaving a comment, liking it, and subscribing to our channel. We appreciate your time in watching this.